Hello, Raider families. My name is Derek Bosch. I'm the principal at Cibola High School, and we are going to put a little video together here for you to help all of our families and students transition back to in-person learning, which is going to be effective on March 1st. So the purpose of this video is just to give you some information about questions that have been asked and things that you really need to know. So joining me on this video today are four of my wonderful assistant principals, Ms. Leanne McCall, Mr. Brett Pavey, Mrs. Gina Kugel-Brandt, and Mr. Corey Semler. So I want to just first start out by talking about why March 1st and what's led our school to coming back to in-person learning on the 1st. And really several factors went into this decision, including 5 consecutive weeks of a downward trend in the COVID-19 metrics. In addition, we've had the availability of our first and second dose of the vaccine made available to our staff. And a survey was recently shared with our families asking you if you were interested in returning. And the survey results indicated that about 63% of our families were interested. So we took all these things into consideration as we plan for the start of in-person learning. I do want to make note before we get into some questions that our admin is going to be answering today that our families still have the option to remain in distance learning, and you have the option to be in person. We just ask that you make that decision so that it eases the transition, and our faculty and staff can plan accordingly for that. So one of the first things we're going to get into today is our daily schedule. So Ms. McCall is going to talk about what the schedule is going to look like for in-person and distance learners. Ms. McCall?
Thank you, Mr. Bosch. Welcome back, everybody. And we are excited to see our students returning to the campus to continue their learning. The schedule starting March the 1st will remain the same that we've been doing right now, 7:45 to 12:45. And your child will go to each 6 classes, and each class will be 45 minutes long. If you are remaining a distance learner at home, the schedule still is 7:45 to 12:45, and we encourage you to attend each class, each period, for the live sessions that will be occurring while the instructor is giving that information to the in-person learners.
All right, thank you, Ms. McCall. Next item is, as a student, if I'm coming back in person, what is it that I need? Ms. Kugel-Brandt? All right.
Sorry about that. First and foremost, students should be pre-screened by their parents or guardians prior to coming to school, and they should be symptom-free prior to being here. And all students should have a COVID waiver signed by their parent or guardian. If you attended in-person campus during hybrid, then your waiver is still on file. And then according with the local ordinances and CDC recommendations, you're required to wear a face mask at all times, and they should fit snugly on your face. Students will also need to bring a personal water bottle to fill up throughout the day. And we'll have water stations around campus where you can replenish your bottles. In addition, you'll need your regular school supplies, your netbook, your charger, your handbook to track assignments and to be used as a hall pass, and then your school ID. Lastly, you'll have to follow the rules of school dress code listed on page 21 of their student handbook.
All right, Ms. KB, thanks for finding the mute button in a timely manner. Mr. Semler, make sure you're not on mute for this next one, because you're next. You're going to talk about students knowing their schedules, COVID waivers, transportation. What can you tell us, Mr. Semler?
Yeah, no, we got a lot going on. So just wanted to start with a quick reminder that students can access their current schedule through Student View, which is the same platform that they should be using to check their grades. Student View can be accessed through the district website under the Families tab, as well as by downloading the mobile app. So again, refer to Student View to stay up to date with your student schedule. In regards to COVID waivers, in addition to checking their schedules, students need to ensure they have a completed COVID waiver on file. As Ms. KB just mentioned, the YUHSD COVID-19 waiver is required by all our students and guests in order to enter our campus facilities and the campuses themselves. In addition, there is a COVID extracurricular waiver that needs to be completed and submitted in order for students to participate in extracurricular activities. These extracurricular activities include athletics, clubs, the fine arts, performing arts, before and after school activities. So there are two waivers. One is to come to school during school hours, and then there's a separate waiver for participating in those extracurricular activities. Another topic I'd like to touch on real quick is transportation. Our bus routes will be running as usual, and for those students who get to school by other forms of transportation, please don't arrive on campus prior to 7:15 a.m. The students that plan on driving themselves to school are required to have a parking permit. In order to purchase a parking permit, students must show their driver's license, proof of insurance, and submit some basic information regarding their vehicle, like the license plate number, color, make, and model, etc. That's just more of a security purpose there. And so as far as transportation goes, everything should be kind of up and running as usual.
All right, thank you, Mr. Semler. A question that's come up, as I kind of mentioned in the beginning about the survey. What happens if I did not fill out the survey to select distance learning or in person? So Mr. Pavey, you want to talk about that and some other mitigation measures that we can expect being back in person?
Yeah, absolutely. If you didn't have a chance to fill out the survey, that's okay. It's closed at this time, so no need to worry about going back and trying to find it. The best thing to do is just give us a call at 502-5700, and we can put you in touch with people that can take you through the necessary procedures, whether it's in person or distance learning, because you do have the choice. It's not mandatory to be here in person, but if you want to be, we want to make sure we get everything squared away so we're all ready to go for you. And then once kids are here, there's been a lot of questions about what the classrooms are going to look like with our mitigation plans in place. So know that all classrooms are going to be equipped with hand sanitizers, with EPA listed disinfectant sprays that the staff can use to spray down the desks, ample paper towels, and extra masks as well, because like Mrs. Kugelbrandt mentioned, masks are required at all times. And if you have a situation where a mask gets lost, a strap breaks, we do have plenty of replacements to make sure everybody has the proper face coverings. And then while they're in the classes, depending on the subject, the amount of kids present in the room at the time, the desks will be set up to provide as much physical distance as possible.
All right, thank you, Mr. Pavey. And I'll kind of piggyback off of that with our sanitation procedures. Just know we want our families and students to know that high touch point areas such as countertops and desks and door handles, those things will be sanitized throughout the day using that disinfectant that we have in every one of our classrooms and throughout the campus. Specifically, we will have our staff spray down the desks before and after class. So just wanted to make you aware of that. In terms of social distancing, based on the high number of students expected to return to in-person learning, 6 feet of social distancing is not going to be possible at all times and at all locations. But as Mr. Pavey said, we're going to do our best with all the measures that we have in place. We just need to know that 6 feet of social distancing is not always going to be an option. When at school, our staff members are going to educate and remind our students regularly to maintain at least 6 feet of social distance, and we will make announcements throughout the day to remind our students of that. Student seating will be arranged to maintain as much physical distance as possible in the classroom. So we're going to do our very best to follow our mitigation measures and keep our students safe. Ms. McCall, you want to talk about student attendance? How students are going to take their attendance? Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you are coming to school in person, your teacher will mark you present. And if you are remaining a distance learner, you will continue to take your attendance on our attendance sheets on each Canvas page in all 6 periods. And then your teacher will enter that into Synergy. each afternoon and each morning.
Okay. Mr. Pavey, as our athletic director, what can you share with us about athletics?
Yeah, well, thankfully we've been able to have athletics going all winter long. And when we come back to campus, it's going to look very similar. Any athletes that have gone through the proper clearance process are able to participate in practice and then games as they're scheduled. And so if you have questions regarding athletic clearance, please call Cibola at 502, and then 5710 is the extension for the athletics office. And from there, once athletes are participating, it's similar to when they're on campus for any other events. Masks are required by coaches and athletes. Athletes are encouraged to bring their own water containers. We will have plenty of water that can be used to refill them, but we want to make sure that each individual athlete has their own container. Then Monday, March 1st, our spring season actually begins. And so we'll have baseball, softball, tennis, and track and field starting up on campus. And we encourage anybody that wants to get some extracurricular participation in to take advantage of those opportunities.
All right, thank you, Mr. Pavey. So as you know, as you've heard already, our bell schedule is going to be the same as it has been from 7:45 to 12:45. So Mr. Semler, what's our food services schedule going to look like?
All right, so for food services, for our students that are attending in-person classes, breakfast will be available before school from 7:15 to 7:45 a.m. And a grab-and-go style lunch will be served to students from 12:45 to 1:15 p.m. Cibola students will have 3 different locations that they can pick up their lunch on campus. Again, just trying to prevent any congestion from happening. And for students who are not on campus, anyone under the age of 18, as well as our students that are doing distance learning, can do drive-through grab-and-go lunches. And these are going to be available for pickup from 1:15 to 1:45. The drive-through location will remain the same, which has been the bus lane directly west of the administration building. So that's what we have for our food services.
All right. And Ms. McCall, we've had some information in the past couple weeks go out regarding our tutoring and different options made available to our students. So can you just kind of summarize where we're at with tutoring during school and after school?
Yeah, absolutely. We have multiple opportunities for students with tutoring. So what we have available is that if any student needs assistance for their current ongoing second semester classes, all teachers in every content have tutoring Mondays and Thursdays from 1:30 to 3. And so that'll occur, it's a link on their Canvas homepage. Again, that's for if you need assistance right now in your second semester classes. We also have opportunities if you failed your first semester class, Monday through Thursdays from 3 to 4 p.m. Every content is represented from PE to English, fine arts, social studies, every department. If you failed your first semester class, go to tutoring via Canvas. It's also virtually. And links were sent to all of the students, and all of the teachers have it. So you can always get it from them or your counselor. The last opportunity we have is for your CTE classes, for your current class. And if you failed first semester classes, the CTE department has tutoring Mondays and Thursday evenings from 6 to 9 p.m. And that is all through Canvas also. And it can be accessed from any CTE Canvas homepage that your student has. So lots of opportunities, and we highly encourage you as a parent to encourage your student to take advantage of these opportunities. And as a student, please be proactive and talk to your teachers and your counselors about these opportunities.
Ms. McCall, do you want to also discuss just briefly about how students can contact their counselor and what we have coming out of the counseling offices right now for our students?
Yeah, that's important too, because we're looking to next year right now. And so any student, a current freshman, sophomore, or junior, it's very important that you have selected your courses for next year. And some of them are already pre-selected for you, like your math and your English and things like that. But your electives, that's where we want to hear your voice and your recommendation through your course selection. If you haven't done so already, please go to your email and start looking at that. It is in there. If you need to contact your counselor because you can't find it or it was closed, please schedule an appointment with them by going to our website. And under the academics tab, you will find the counseling department, and you can schedule an appointment right there, and your counselor will reach out to you. Or you can call 502-5700 to the school and ask for the counseling department, and Melissa will help you out getting you in contact with your counselor. So it's really important for your course selection, so we can give you the schedule that fits your path and not just anything.
All right. Thank you, Ms. McCall, and thank you to the rest of the admin for answering these questions. I'll just kind of close with this. You've heard 502-5700 as the number reference to our school. If you're watching this video and you have questions, call that number and try to be specific with who you want to speak to, whether it's the academics office, activities, athletics, counseling, and they'll direct you in the right direction, or they'll direct you, I should say, to the right person. Again, our website, we do keep our website updated. You can always go to our school website and look for information. There's a lot of helpful resources there for you. And as Ms. McCall said, you can schedule a meeting with your counselor right on our website. So don't forget those things. I want to remind our students and families too, as we close this, that written communication is also going to be shared with our families on Thursday, February 25th. A lot of what was discussed in this video is going to be shared in writing. So check your email as we share that through our Blackboard messaging system. We're excited to have our students back on campus. As a staff, I want our families to know that we are going to do everything we can to serve our in-person and our distance learners. Our safety measures are in place. Our teachers are excited to have students back on campus. And as always, just let us know if you have questions. We look forward to seeing everybody on March 1st. If you're returning in person and if you're a distance learner, we'll see you on the virtual meeting. Have a good day.